Buster, can you please bring that phone?
Welcome everybody to the No Budget Podcast. I am your host Alex, and today, spoiler warning ahead for the finale of The Mandalorian, because we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to be introducing a new segment. I'm going to either try to do once a month, or once a year, or once every couple months, just something like that, called the YouTube Hall of Fame. Because YouTube obviously isn't doing it. I haven't seen any YouTubers do it. So I'll take my shot at it. If you disagree with the people on the list, do it differently. Make your own. This is mine. Now let's get into the video. Now first we are going to do the YouTube Hall of Fame segment because honestly I just want to get this part out of the way. I want to clarify that at the moment I don't have set rules, so these 5 are going to go in there without any rules, so if anything ever changes, sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. You don't really get a plaque or anything, you just kind of get recognized. Because I'm trying to go back to when it started. Some of the earlier people who really influenced the platform. I have one popular video, one popular series. By the way, I'm going by creator, not video. So one popular video by creator, one popular series by creator, one popular series that continues to go to this day and still does very well, one person from the gaming side, and one is a full-blown podcast. So I guess every person that was a host of that podcast can technically go in, because there was multiple hosts of the podcast, but let's get into it. First, I would like to say Brian Spinney. Now, a lot of you are not going to know who that is. Brian Spinney is the channel behind the ginormous video for no reason, Rapping with Jesus. It is one of, I think it's at 50 million views. And I know there's videos with higher views than that by like a long shot. But this is the only video on this guy's channel. It's massively gained in views. And I had something, what did I forget? It is from 2013, so this was before YouTube started going mainstream. This is early days YouTube. So, there you go, Brian Spinney. Next I have Ray William Johnson. Now this is the one with a popular series. He had a very popular series called Equals 3. I used to end up watching it with my brother all the time. I remember Ray William Johnson. He was in videos with another, I think he had a podcast with another person that's going to be on here soon, but that didn't really get really popular. He left. I forgot why he left, but his show got taken over, and then it stopped. Then most of the videos got deleted. It's been a weird ride for Ray William Johnson, but he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame of YouTube. Next, the Epic Rap Battle Series. Epic Lloyd and Nice Peter. Now, this is kind of going to fill out a music section. But this was a popular series that keeps raking in views because their series is still very popular and is still very good. I think they put more effort into it now than they used to. It's a very good series. I enjoy it very much. I never really was a big Ray William Johnson fan, but I can say that he deserves to be there. Same with Brian Spinney. I think the video is stupid, but it's stupid how much views it got. There's that. Then we have Faze Banks filling out the gaming side. He is the creator, I believe, and co-owner of one of the biggest gaming groups to still be around in FaZe Clan. He's had some celebrities on there. I know he has LeBron James' son in the group. I don't remember who else he has. He has the first... I don't know how to describe... he had FaZe Ewok, who just had went from female to male. I don't know how else to describe that in nice words. Or in any words to be exact, but... I guess that'd be their first transgender One of the first in the gaming series that I've seen, because a lot of the gaming scenes are homophobic and racist, just to, because you're mad. Last is the Debated Podcast. The Debated Podcast launched podcast significantly. I had Keemstar. Colossal is Crazy is one of my favorite content creators. I wish he would upload more, but he's one of my favorite content creators. I'm not a big fan of Keemstar, but he obviously has a legacy on this platform, probably forever. It's here. Accept it. If you don't like him, sorry. If you do like him, then good. Then they had Tommy C. I don't really care for Tommy C. I just don't. They had Chad Anything for Views, who went off and did Cold Ones with Max Mofo. He's a very interesting person to watch. And then Andy Milonakis, who I swear I've never heard of it until I looked up on IMDb, but he was on MTV for a while, I think. And I'm pretty sure he had his own show. I don't know too much about Andy, but he was funny on the podcast. He's funny in random videos. He's funny in the Mom's Basement that he was, when they were actually on Faze Banks' channel. He was funny in those. They definitely have a spot in a YouTube Hall of Fame. Now, let's transition over to the Mandalorian Finale. Lots of big things happened, and I made sure to stay away from YouTube videos. Because I wanted my fresh words, just my fresh memory, which is not a good memory. But I wanted that to lead what I was saying, not anything else. My favorite reveal is one that we're getting a Boba Fett series and next year. And that's what happened to the Hutt Cartel. Now, the Hutt Cartel was managed by Jabba the Hutt, who obviously died in Return of the Jedi, and it's been widely debated what happened to the cartel. So, now, because of the Mandalorian after credits, we know what happened. Biff, what was his name? Biff? It was Bib, I think. Sorry, I'm looking it up on my phone now. Bib Fortuna, something like that. I swear I knew what it was like a couple days ago. Even I don't have a very good memory. I know most of these characters' names by like heart, but this one's not one I'm with. He wasn't really an interesting character to me. But my favorite details is that he got really fat. That was hilarious. That it kind of says that anyone on this throne is destined to be dictated by their own selfishness. They're going to get really fat because they're just sitting there doing nothing because they're lazy. And that ultimately they're going to get killed and replaced. Very, very young. I don't know how the Hutt years work. I don't even think they've ever explained it. If they did, I just didn't know. But I'm sure the Hutts live longer than the average person there does. Not as long as someone like Yoda or Grogu or someone like that, but probably somewhere in the middle there. So I'm sure Jabba wasn't that old in his age, but he probably was. I don't know. But, they have the reveal. I forgot her name. The person that was with Boba, that Boba saved. She came in, rained down everybody except for Bib. Boba walks in. Bib tries to, small talk his way out of it, gets shot, and then Boba Fett sits down at the throne. And we get the reveal that he's going to have his own TV show. I'm excited. The rest of the Mandalorian was also very good. Moff Gideon is still alive. We had the big battle. I thought Bo-Katan got killed off. There's a little bit of animosity between her and Din Djarin now, because he is technically the ruler of Mandalore. He is technically in possession of the Darksaber, even if he doesn't want it. That was amazing. I love that they had the throwaway of Dark Troopers are all gone. Wasted resources. And then they come back and get wasted again. I wasn't a big fan of them being wasted for nothing. I like how it was shown off against Din Djarin, but I'm not a fan that they introduced these big, great power for it to be thrown out into space, come back and get chopped in with a lightsaber. Speaking of lightsaber, Luke Skywalker and the bad CGI they have. I don't know how they did this, but it was obviously very, very poor CGI. Like that's just no way of going around that one. It was not good CGI. I'm sure Hamill. I know I saw him in the credits, so Hamill obviously came back to voice him. But the biggest takeaway here is Luke Skywalker has Grogu, but there's a season 3. So what's the season 3 going to be about? My guess is Luke is going to train him. It's not going to work out. While Din Djarin and Bo-Katan are taking back over Mandalore. They're taking over Mandalore. Gideon is put in prison, and so Cara Dune's probably raised up a rank. Boba Fett's in charge of the Hutt cartel. And that just leaves Luke and Grogu to fight. I mean, you could end the show there. There's no question about that. You could end the show right there. It was very sad watching Din Djarin finally take off his helmet, and then Grogu has to leave. I mean, that was obviously really sad. I mean, there's no getting around that. Shedding some tears. I never thought we'd see him do that. That was definitely a new one. The rest of the episode was still good too. I mean, the fact that they call out that Boba Fett is not Mandalorian, but is still wearing the armor, is fantastic. But they didn't go off in the payoff that I thought they would. I figured Bo-Katan knew Jango Fett and Boba Fett knew that he was a clone. But Din Djarin's reaction was nothing. There was no reaction to it. He just kind of stood there while him and Sasha Banks fought. I mean, I forget the character's name. There's so many names I have to remember. But that's where we go in that. And I don't know. It was a very good episode, but there were things that I could point out that were obviously very dumb. So, I can't think of anything else. The mission they did to get on there was weird. Because it is showing that Moff Gideon is a very good leader. But that he's still only a Moff. I mean, he should be higher up. He should probably be one of the highest in the last of the Empire going into the First Order. He has such a brilliant mind for everything. But they're still keeping him at Moff. I mean, he probably should have took Grand Moff Tarkin's spot, if we're being honest here. Because he has shown himself to be very gifted in battle, very gifted in getting himself out of situations. Even though he lost the sword fight to Din Djarin, I mean, that doesn't make him bad at what he does. He's not a fighter. He's a leader. So that's where that goes. It is a little weird. I don't have any other problems besides that. I can just go on a full loving spree of the mystery of how they're going to show Luke Skywalker. Obviously made me feel like it wasn't worth what we got because of the CGI, but like the build-up was amazing. I love the build-up. I am ready for Kenobi and Ahsoka and the story of Boba Fett. That is going to be very fun. Something I noticed today. Kenobi's logo. Go look at the eye. It is his lightsaber hilt. It is amazing attention to detail. Everyone behind Star Wars is picking up the slack that we've had for 21, 22 years. The original trilogy, hell, actually just since the original trilogy, the original trilogy had so much loose ends that they never filled up, that we had to go back with movies to fix. And then the movies are hated by so many people of the series. I mean, there's just so many random characters they could have explored more, and then they did, and people hated it. This, they're going into characters that people love, giving them stories, and people are loving it. So The Mandalorian is doing good. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing very good. They should be in charge of most of their series if they can. I think if any series they need to take over is Ahsoka, because that one you have to really be careful. They've done so far since the beginning when everyone hated Ahsoka. They've done good keeping her one of the most liked characters in the series, but Ahsoka can easily get Jar Jar'd, because she originally was. Everyone hated her. She can easily go back to doing that. Rosario Dawson plays her amazing. So let's keep Dave Filoni in charge of her. Maybe not even just Dave Filoni needs to be there. If they're splitting off, Jon Favreau does good with the westerns. Put him with Kenobi, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ian McGregor, Hayden Christensen. Keep him with them. Keep Filoni with Ahsoka. And bring them back together for The Mandalorian. Because that will ultimately be your best bet. In every other Star Wars series, start new. Find people you think will work for the series. But these are established characters you have to work with. I mean, the only one that has an established character besides the Boba series that's coming, Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. They're all, like, maybe a droid story, but people really just don't like C-3PO at all. Or they absolutely love him. So, I mean, there's no middle ground there. They're just going to have to face facts. And just work with it. Thank you guys for listening to the No Budget Podcast. I am your host, Alex. I'll see you all next week.